Now, 5 years ago, life changed drastically for Felix Orinda, popularly known as DJ Evolve. He was shot in a Nairobi club, and the incident left him battling for his life. 5 years later, DJ Evolve has shown great improvement in recovery. Tonight, we catch up with him. Thank you for finding the time to host me in your home. It's been a while, and I'm glad to see that you're well. I want to take you back to when all of this happened and the last 5 years. Walk us through that.
I've been learning. Yeah, you have to learn life again, lots of things. But it's been a good experience as well. I got to find out more about myself, how resilient I am, how strong I am.
So walk me through a typical day for you.
I've been reading, studying for new courses like IT. Right now most things can be done remotely. So I've been into coding in the recent past couple of months. So that's what I've been doing. I've also been thinking of concepts to execute while I'm still here. DJing is like riding a bike. When you get it and you get it properly, that's it. So my interests are still in music. Even though I've developed other interests, I can see how to fuse them into what I was doing before. I started feeding again after some time. I got my voice back recently. I stopped speaking while I was in hospital. I just woke up one day and found myself whispering. When you're in a position where you can't do anything, you can't communicate what you want to be done. And it just comes with so many things. So getting my voice back was one of the biggest wins. I got most of my upper limb movements, so we are working on the fine ones. Before I decided to forgive, all these things were in my head, my life, how it was, what it will be, what it is at the moment. But I figured out all these things, as much as I ask myself all these questions. As long as there is no solution at this moment, I will keep bugging myself with those questions, and I will end up depressed. So when I decided to embrace what has happened and figure out solutions from where I'm at, I started feeling alive again. My strength has come from God. That is what has taken me through most of the hurdles I've faced in this journey. And also forgiveness. When you carry a burden in your heart and you have to deal with all these things at the same time, it's so much weighing on you. And when there's nothing else to do to be strong, you actually get the strength.
What do you do in terms of your medical routine?
First of all, being home is just therapy on its own. I remember I used to beg my doctor to let me go home. I have my physios who are my family now. We have to do stretches. We have to do some standing aids. We have to do some sitting exercises. I couldn't sit like this before. So they trained me to get back my core strength first, to be able to sit. They also trained me to strengthen my diaphragm so that I can be able to breathe well as well. And then now my hands, we've been working on them. They're slightly regaining some function. And now I'm regaining some sensation on my feet as well. I can recognize pain when I have it, yeah, which is a plus for me. I'm on some pain medications, nerve pains. Sometimes my hands just become inflamed, yeah. So there's some ointments we apply. There's some also that I take orally. Then that takes care of that. With the meds I take, some of the side effects is gaining weight. So I wondered why all of a sudden I just became big, and I was very tiny at the beginning. So finding the seat took quite some time. As you can see, even I'm not fully seated on it because I'm tall, yeah. And the footrest is a bit high compared to where I'm seated. Yeah, from my own experience, you don't have to rush these things because the tiniest win comes after a very long time. I'm just looking forward to when I can be able to do most of the things I used to do.
Injury aspect of it just cost us from the wrist basically for now, is what we are remaining with, going downwards. And that's why we are unable to perform the functions of the finer motor skills. So basically we normally start with the stretches, because mostly when he wakes up, he'll find himself maybe feeling some numbness towards the hands, and maybe we'll need some stretches be done before we engage in any activity. So we'll basically do our stretches. Felix by himself has been a very good, I can say he has shown us how to be patient also. In this, because this is not a journey that has been easy for us. For instance, I've been with him for more than 3 years now. So if, in other words, yeye pia angeamua kwa kichwa ngumu kidogo, we wouldn't be having this progress that we are seeing today.
I have a very good support system around me right now. My family, they've been there for me, especially my brother. He's called Don. Yeah, he's worked this journey with me from the start, and he's been there for me as well. My friends, yeah, my physios, my medical team.
What are your thoughts around access and assistive devices in the country, in terms of finding yourself in a situation where you have to access certain places?
There's so many gaps. My first encounter actually was a bad one. The first time I stepped out, we decided to go. The first order of business was to get my money in order so I can be able to do one or two things. But getting to my main branch, I wasn't able to access it twice, yeah, because we went for the first time. Where we parked and where the bank was, it was such a long distance, and the accessibility of the ramps on the side was quite hard as well. Then getting to the bank, there were steps at the door. So I pictured if I was to do anything, I must first of all know where all the places I can access should be, which should not be the case.
How do you rate the quality of healthcare in this country, and what can be done better?
Unfortunately, I'd say the best healthcare in this country is reserved for a certain class of people. Yeah, because if you don't have the finances, you can't access them. But in terms of basic healthcare, most of the places are not catering towards the needs of most people.
Are you, for example, keeping tabs on what was going with the Gen Z situation, with them protesting around issues to do with the finance bill and other issues around how the government is running business in the country? And what are your thoughts around that?
A lot has been going on, especially when the cops started shooting people aimlessly, man. They don't know the effects of living with bullet wounds. Or if they do, some of them have no idea how living after that is. So they should perhaps ask their fellow colleagues who have similar wounds what it takes to recover from one, or even what it takes to live with one. So before you pull that trigger, my brother, think of all those things.
How has this situation shaped your thinking around life and situations that present themselves before us?
Resilience. Whenever life knocks you down, always just pick yourself up and keep moving. Yeah, I've been through so much in my life, from childhood to now. I lived the post-election violence. I was actually like the one taking care of my family during that time because people couldn't go outside. That was another very hard moment. Pick yourself up from that. In school, I wasn't really like a regular attender of school because of fees and all that, but we pushed through all that. I was top of my class when I finished primary school. I had good grades in high school. Unfortunately, I couldn't proceed because of finances, but I still figured out a way to push through, and now we're here seated together. So always just keep moving forward. You will figure it out as you go. Don't keep yourself down when life knocks you down.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and let's keep talking.